All right, we're going live for the first time. So here we are, going live the first time. I'm Tiffany Welch, and I am really doing things different. And as a business mentor, I figured, there's sometimes that you guys also need to see what I actually go through when I'm trying to figure out a process. What does that look like? And I'm here working on things for my cleaning company today. And as I'm working on things for the cleaning company, I had some ideas that just kept like coming across where I was like, dang, everybody else needs to know what this looks like, this process, because I don't want you to feel like you're alone trying to figure out how to simplify a system for your company. So I'm working on, we had a cancellation yesterday. I'm working on our cancellation process. I started looking at it and identified that there's some gaps in the system that need to be fixed. There's just not consistency. But I also realized really quickly we're duplicating work, and that has to stop. So for my cleaning company, we're working on cancellations. We use a form currently to track those cancels in case we ever need to look back over it. So I started thinking, when's the last time that we actually looked back over this? And that's where this all stemmed from. So logically thinking through this step as a business mentor, the goal is simplicity. Am I creating more work for my team? So I looked at our process, and what I do is I type out a brain dump. I open a Google Doc and I just pour everything in there. What are we currently doing? What do I think it should look like? I really just do a brain dump, but here, I don't want you guys to think I type it all out because I don't. I open a Google Doc and I talk to it, and I let it just kind of go back through the process as I'm thinking things through in no type of order at all whatsoever. And then I take it and I go in like piece of, this is good, this is not good. Let's stop, let's fix. So going through the process, I determined, yes, I am creating extra work right now for my team. We're duplicating data in a place we don't actually use because we have not pulled a report off of that form in over a year. In over a year. Thank goodness we had only lost about 12 clients. I think it's 12 or 13 clients in the entire span of a year, meaning we didn't have to go back and look at it. But over the course of 5 years, I went back and looked at the form, the overall value. We have not pulled reports off of this form in quite some time. So I was able to identify, yes, we are creating extra work and we're going to stop that right now. The core questions that I ask myself in this process of figuring out what do we do next? And write this down because this is a great core question. I use it all the time. What decision is this data supposed to drive? Because the goal is we're moving forward in our business. Whatever your business is, the goal is moving forward. Right now, the cancellation form is not reviewed regularly. It's not driving any of our metrics, pricing, marketing, policy changes, just to name a couple. We're duplicating the information on the form and in our CRM system. Okay. Then I determine, what do I actually need? So my second core question is, what do I actually need? And this is based off of our vision and our goals for the company. What do we actually need? We need a way to track cancellation, the name, I just lost my train of thought, the name, the quantity of canceled, and the details just need to live in the client record. So the need is only three things. We don't need the second record. We don't need a separate follow up. We don't need a workflow after the decision has been finalized. That form is probably not really needed. And that's what I was able to determine. So then I simplify it. Where should this meaningful data live? These are those details that I want. And what I came to brainstorm with is I really only need to know three things. I don't need to dilute it, grab all this extra information that's never going to drive a metric or a decision. So I want to break it down what that came to. And on the call or Let's just start at the top because this is the part I'm putting together. The the call, we're going to confirm the details. We're going to ask one main question. What is the reason for your cancellation? We're going to make our save attempt, and then we're going to document. And we're documenting um, the answer to the question, the save attempt that was made, and did we still win it or lose it? That's all we need to know. And from there, this is where the data drives decisions. Okay. So now I'm thinking simplicity. How do I make this into a micro play based off of the book One Layer Deep, where I'm keeping it simple for my team, one layer, so one easy step. They're not having to do multiple things. Okay, let me go to that document so I can look at what I came up with. Okay, so the first step is going to be the confirming the request. We're going to do that in our client profile in the CRM, where you're confirming their address, their frequency. The second thing is asking the question, what's the main reason that you want to cancel services today? And then we're going to put the answer in that record. The You heard me say the next thing that I want to know is what's the save attempt that was made? Was that downgrading a frequency, downgrading a service, offering a reclean, offering a schedule change, a technician swap? I think those are the five that we offer. And then putting the outcome in there. If we saved them, this is the outcome. We're going to go every 4 weeks instead of every other week, or we're going to go every other week instead of every week. This is the solution that was offered. And then I give them an example because it's really important to me that they know what correct looks like. So when you're working with your team, if you tell them correct looks like, then they know what you expect. They're on the same page. So I give them that example of what correct is going to look like. And then if we didn't keep it, what did lost? What does that look like? And that means we're going to take the next step. We're going to hit the cancellation button. And then the tracking process. This is all that's going to be tracked. If the client's not saved, we're going to have a Google Sheet now instead of a form, one sheet with client name, date of cancellation, reason, and was it saved? That's it. Those four things. So we can easily see it. It's quick and easy to reference. So when we have to pull it up to look for trends, there's our reasons. This was the dates. And then if we need to dig in further, we go into the CRM system. That's it. So we ended up taking what correct looks like, making it easy. We're giving them four things to monitor. They're updating the record, putting four things on a Google Sheet, and we're done. When I just ran through it to see how long would it actually take a team member, I sent over this client is canceling services. Here's the process. I had my entire process from my team member back to me. It was 6.5 minutes. That's a lot better than what we were doing. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope that you're able to use some of this. If you have questions, let me know. If you want a copy of some framework questions to ask yourself, drop them in the chat below and we'll be happy to go over those with you.